Well, a good detective is obviously a detective who's very focused on his job and is very good at it. I mean, he likes people, he's interested in people, he notices things, he's interested in the psychology, what makes people tick, he's interested in motives. He may not be, and usually isn't, you know, a great human being himself. He's often flawed in many ways, and he may not respond well to discipline. He may mess up his relationships, either through just not being there or through being very willful. And you know, he's often not there when you need him, but he's focused on his job. He's somewhere else. So he's a strange mercurial kind of character, even though in many ways, like Banks, he seems much of an everyman, an ordinary sort of person. His mind works in a slightly different way. And it has to do, you know, because he does a very unusual job. Not many people really spend their days and nights dealing with the kind of sometimes evil creatures that detectives have to deal with. A detective also needs someone to talk to. I mean, although they do often operate under their own rules in a very maverick kind of way, and they won't tell their partner what they're doing or why they're doing it, they do need that partner at least to argue with about not having told them that. And I think with Banks and Anna, you get quite a lot of that. You know, she's constantly annoyed at him for just going off and not filling her in on things. And it's also a great thing with Banks and Annie, because I can use different viewpoints, that sometimes we can see Banks through Annie's eyes in a way that we would normally not look at him. And I think, you know, it's good to see that. It's not just that she sees his flaws, she does, but I mean, she also likes him, and, you know, she's attracted to him as well. So, you know, you see him, a lot of things through his eyes, but it's good to see him through Annie's eyes sometimes. Oh, good villain is somebody who wants to sort of take over the world and blow it up or something. I mean, you know, you think of all the James Bond villains. It's not really the case in most crime fiction. I mean, a villain may be a major criminal, you know, who does want a certain amount of dominance in criminal affairs. But it can often be someone who's just sort of taken the wrong road and got lost. And, you know, and I think villains have to be human. At least in my books, I try to give them some element of humanity, no matter how bad they are. You know, like a guy may be having people killed, but you know, he does have a daughter and he loves her very much, and she's got a pony and stuff, and you know that when he gets arrested in the end, she'll still have a pony, but she won't have a daddy anymore. And you know, it's just, well, he does kill people, you know, so what can you say? He shouldn't kill people, and then she would have him. So you try not to moralize about the villains. I mean, they really provide their own undoing through overreaching or stupidity or whatever. I mean, it's not even that Banks is such a brilliant detective that he always figures out how to catch them. Usually they make enough mistakes that, you know, he's bright enough to spot them. But villains are a lot of fun to write about too, because you can let it go with a villain. He can, all that alter ego stuff, you can just let out and have fun. And he can say things that you could never say, and that Banks would never say, that I would never say. But you can get away with it, you know, and do things, you know, kill people, cut their throats, trample all over them, you know, steal all their money. Wonderful, wonderful stuff you could actually never do.